First off, with you, like I wanted to meet with you because you're somebody that I think could just be a freaking rock star. Like I'm not meeting with anybody else today. We have all those coaching sessions, and I was like, I'm just coming in to 2 years before I manage your training. But you're, you're someone I feel could be, really great. And so I wanted to meet with you so I can help you like get to where you need to be. But first I wanted to know, as far as the job, I know you haven't gotten a chance to do a ton. What have you liked? What are your likes about it? What are your dislikes about it?
And then I just want to let you know you're going to want to dress business casual.
I feel like I'm getting more comfortable with like new people, and I like that I can do my own hours. I'm not great with it.
So flexibility of making your own schedule, getting more comfortable with people, like interpersonal skills. What else?
I don't know. I still don't like talking to people on the phone. It's not my strong suit.
Okay. I have a suggestion, a cool tip for you that you can utilize. Some of my guys who they just had a really hard time talking on the phone. Yeah, but it's an important skill for you to learn. Like long term. What's your dream job?
Yeah.
So you're gonna be a lawyer? You think you're gonna have to get comfortable talking to clients on the phone? So by the way, this is perfect. This is perfect training for you because you're in a comfortable environment with people that are supportive, right? Learning something that is uncomfortable for you, but the only way to ever get comfortable with something, like you have to push yourself. You don't have to grow. You have to push yourself out of your comfort zone. Whenever you stay wherever you're comfortable, you don't grow. You don't develop yourself to the person that you can be, and you don't develop the skill sets that you can have. You have to really push yourself. So I think that's really great. What do you feel with this job? And so I was going to ask you beyond that, like right now, when you started working, why are you working right now? Why are you personally working with us? I know it was like a random text and, from a friend and whatever, but why do you want to work here?
Because I know I actually do get a lot of money.
Okay. Yeah. And you could do really freaking well. And that's something that I was talking to Spencer about before. I was like, I want to know why you're working and what goals do we have? Because if not, then you're just going to go through the motions and you're not going to maximize your time. You're kind of wasting time, wasting leads. And, I'd hate for you to do that because you are somebody that has so much potential. And I want to see you maximize whatever work you do. Yeah, I mean, you don't even have an open schedule to do a lot right now. I'd love for you to have it, and so we can really help you develop. But really wanted to see from your end, why were you working? Is it, for money? Is it for skill sets? What specific? So you said, developing that you can make money if you actually applied yourself. Why else?
Being able to talk to people.
All right. So money, comfort, talking to people. Why did you get a job in the first place, even with a pizza place? What was just money? Fun money to save up for something? Money for what?
I need to fix my car. I'm moving out in June.
Okay, so moving out after graduation.
I'm going to Austin, which hopefully I could still be a part of this later on. I think I would be better living
I actually have two more that.
Do you have a tough relationship at home, where you're just I need to get out as soon as possible, or are you?
No, I just always thought 18, filing my own person as soon as I graduate. I will stay. And I was born in Austin, so I was wanted to go back and explore it.
Nice. Well, reason I ask is you're somebody that I definitely have on my list as a potential management candidate for next summer, where you could do an internship with us during the summertime. And so moving to Austin in August versus June, you could have a chance to work with us in June and July. And then in August, move over to Austin, and I could definitely connect you with the local manager over there. So that's something that I'd love to see, that I have as an option for you. And that I'd love to see what you think as we move along for next summer, because we're putting together our crew. We're going after another one of these guys. First one ever here in Texas. So our goal is to bring home our first silver cup here in Houston. And I want
The
to.
other ones were in Florida?
Yep. Yeah. So we won 7 national titles down in Miami, and now it's game time in Houston for 2018. So I want to have the best team in place. I mean, we're going to be losing some of our key players that are going to be going to run their own offices this summer. So Jay will hopefully be rocking his own office out in, I don't know, the boonies, you know. And Billy will be running his own office, and Roman, and so these guys are all working hard to, you know, JD to go run their own offices. So putting together our crew for this summer of who's gonna be the national championship staff, you know, that's gonna take us to the Silver Cup, and so excited about putting that together. So when you're with customers, then what are you sharing with them while you're working? Like, I know you get nervous talking on the phone. How are you face to face? Do you get more comfortable once you start talking to people, like to adults?
And I mostly like talk about like the scholarships that we have and like try and
We
say,
basically meet with people, answer questions, and help people.
Let's grab a book. I want you to pretend. I just want to see what you're doing.
We have very flexible schedules.
So yeah, so I'm your customer. We just sat down for a demo, and you're gonna dive in. And so is your fast start page there normally, or I guess we need to take it out now, but we'll replace it with an actual thermometer. So regardless, you'll have something to point to. So let's look at this.
Yeah, man, it's super awesome.
So share with me. So right now on your demos, so if we just started a demo and you know we're chit-chatting, you came in, whatever, and now we're transitioning to this. How do you start off your demo?
We can see if it would be a good fit for you.
well, I open my book and then this one.
So I'm your customer. Go.
Yeah, that's completely fine.
Well, at first I just like run through it. I'm like, well, this is just my fast start program.
Mm-hmm.
Right now I'm only at where's the first one?
Okay.
Yeah, right now I'm
So
only
you said you
here.
receive your schedule
I'm
tomorrow?
really trying to get like up here.
Okay. So, Chris, what I'm gonna
But
have
I'll
you actually
talk about it later whenever I also
my
get
name
to
is
my
Roman
and then
Reed.
like my.
And whenever you just get your
Do you say
schedule-
anything
Sponsors
else
right
about
there.
why you're working, what you're doing? Do you say anything else?
No,
Okay.
I
Thank
do
you so
that.
much, Chris. It was great talking with
That
you. Bye-bye.
I mean, I know that part in the book. I say just about
I
like
wanted
the
more.
scholarships and advancements.
10 is not
By the way, can you ask Nemo? We need training manuals. If they can loan us manuals for this week, please, because I just realized we haven't placed the order yet for manuals. Oh, okay, awesome. Okay, awesome. Is it gonna arrive by Friday? I like to have backups regardless. Okay.
Oh my god.
So I wanted a manual. Can I have one of those that she can look at? So just, yeah, I want you to pretend you were starting off. That's what I'm saying. I want to hear like what you talk about in the beginning. You can be loud. Everyone's being loud and doing their thing. Go for it.
Wait,
All right.
Thank you so much for happy for seeing me today.
Mhm.
It really means a lot. Let me tell you a little bit about myself.
You can be louder. It's good for.
Just-
It's okay. This is good for you.
Yeah.
Hold on. My is usually really like filled in.
Yeah.
I'm so stupid. I didn't survive it.
Yeah.
It's okay. Just share with me what you talk about. So by the way, this is a really important part where you're actually just really sharing like why you're doing this. Like I want you at this point to be in a place where you don't have to read this. You can read thank you. You can read personal story. You can read tie into goals. That's what you're doing. You can read whatever you need to, but when it comes to talking about you, you know about you.
I know, but I have it like right there, so I don't freak out.
Cool. So just being there. And so that's great. So I'm just saying why, like I want you to share with me. So first off, if I said, okay, tell me personal story, what do you talk about there?
I wouldn't know what to say if somebody asked me to tell them personal stories.
So like, what do you have written in yours? What does it talk about?
I just say like I go to high school. I'm thinking about next year. I'm just saving up for money and stuff to have.
Okay. Do you tell them about that you're studying to be a lawyer, that you want to be a lawyer?
If they ask, I don't
Okay.
tell them.
All right. So by the way, what I'm asking about is one of the most powerful things. All the guys that I coach, the number one thing I spend time with them is getting them really good at this. Ask Roman. The first time we sat for a PC, we worked on this for like an hour, like his goals page. And I can forward you the audio of me doing his version. If I was you, and actually I can just, there's different things. So let's talk about this. So how many siblings do you have?
One.
1. So one of the things you've talked about is just being more independent, right? So we're going to put independent. Are you paying for school or no?
No, my grandparents haven't.
Okay. So independent. Is giving back something that you care about at all? Whether it's the people less fortunate or maybe to hook up your grandparents in the future to say thank you for paying for your school?
Sure.
Be a good thing.
That would be a good thing.
Send them on a cruise. Be like, thanks for paying for my college education.
They go on cruises like once a month.
Yeah, but I'm just saying something cool where
Yeah,
they're just like, wow, you know, like,
Yeah.
so so giving back, being independent. So you're studying law. A lot of it is just comfort with people, comfort with skills, right? Okay. All right. And by the way, you can, and this, a lot of it has to do with there's a lack of vision, there's a lack of belief for a lot of people in just the job and what you're doing. People don't feel you fully invested. So they don't feel like they're going to invest into you because they think you're probably going to quit this week or next week. You know, like to a person, like when they see you totally like focused and like, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm excited about, they're like, wow, and they're excited to be a part of that. You know, like a lot of sales, all right, period, a lot of sales are based on emotion, okay? Like people make decisions based on emotion, how they feel, what they're excited about, what they like, you know? So it's a small percent that's off of logic, you know, or not, like a lot of it's just like how it makes you feel. Or so for you, you know, like you're catching them off guard, right? With something that maybe they weren't even thinking about. All right, then they're like, oh wait, you know, like, and logically it makes sense. You buy once, use every day and have forever. So the logic is there on using this product. But why now versus later is more of an emotional buy for most people. All right, and they're just like, man, you know, like. And they're just like, they love you. They love what you're doing. Like, you know what? I'm going to end up needing this anyway. Whenever I buy it's forever. I might as well just get it now. You know, like that all comes from them, like really being connected to you and what you're excited about. Like you watch commercials, all of it. What are they trying to do? They spark emotion, right? And just like, I want to be like that, or I want to feel like that, or I want to do that. Like advertising and marketing forever was all focused on that. I mean, back in the day, there's just different commercials. I remember like Miller Lite, I think it was commercials. And it was like two women wrestling in the mud. It's like, what the heck does that have to do with beer? But it caused an emotion where men were like, I want that, you know, and so they want to go buy. They want to go buy that. You know, people like all the cigarette commercials back in the day, like even from growing up, like years and years ago, were like beautiful people, like, oh, and it was like, oh, like smoking a cigarette is going to make me feel like that, or be cool, or be part of this crowd. You with me? So everything that's like sold, everything that's marketed, advertised, like they create an emotion in you that you're like, man, I want that, or I need that. Got it? So a lot of the emotion here comes from being involved in what you're doing and then being excited to be a part of that journey. People love to give back. People love to contribute. People love to give to good causes. It makes you feel like a good human when you can like help somebody, you know, if you're able to. It makes you feel good. And so a lot of that, you know, for you guys, I was talking to one of my guys, I remember back Miami, and he had said, I told him, I said, you know, you one of the most important things that you can do that's going to help you sell more, period. All right. And I can give you specifics on selling sets. Selling sets, that's easy. That's just like, do you know your tools right now? If I point to each one, can you say the nickname for each one? Do you know what it's used for? No. So you're not going to sell, by the way, you're not going to sell sets, because if you don't know what it's used for, you know, and you had to miss some of the training, if you don't know like them, right. If you don't know them, you're not going to sell sets.
I only knew like 3 in a row.
Yeah. So that's it. So that's just studying, right? Like for anything, you want to be great, you want to pass the bar exam, you're gonna have to study. You want to do, like, you have to learn stuff. That's all. That's all learn stuff. So that's easy, because that just takes like, okay, I'm gonna take these 3 days and take 30 minutes and study. It takes studying. Like you actually, if you want to be great at anything, you have to like put time into it. You have to put time into your trade. So athletes do, you know, that with training, but even like think about athletes, they have to learn plays, right? Like all the time, like you play any sport, there's plays that you have to learn. And if you don't know the plays in the playbook, you're not going to be like on the field or on the court playing if you don't know the plays. So they actually have to study and they have to practice if they want to be great. So same thing in anything. You want to be great at anything, you have to study, you have to practice. Cool? So that's easy. Like getting you to sell sets is easy. This is the part though that makes the biggest impact, is just, you know, just in general with your sales, with your recs, everything is, why are you doing this? this is, Sage, what's going to keep you here more long term is even for you having a vision of how is this helping me for my future? You know, because even when you have off weeks, when you have rough weeks, then you're just like, no, I know what I'm working towards and like how this benefits me long term, because this benefits you financially and we're going to help you with that. It benefits you personally, you know, like overcoming certain anxieties and things that you have when dealing with people. And it also is going to help you professionally and setting you up for your future. So that's huge. There aren't many jobs that can set you up big time financially, personally, and professionally. So that's pretty badass. So are you aware of how it can help you financially, personally? And then are your customers aware of how it helps you in all of those? Cool. So that's something that's like, oh, I don't like, what you answered is such a common thing with people, like, oh, if they ask, like, no, like you want to share with them, like, hey, here's why I'm working. Is it cool if I share some of my goals? Like you ask them, like, hey, why I'm working with Cutco, and share with them those things. So I'm gonna pretend to be you for a second. You can adjust this however you want, but I'm just gonna pretend to be you. And if I was sharing my goals, so I'd start off and I'm like, oh, so Miss H, thank you so much, you know, for seeing me. Like, thank you for taking time out to help me out. I know there's like so many other things you could be doing right now. So I really appreciate you, you know, taking time with me. And I don't know if like my mom, or I don't know if Miss Susie had told you like about the program and like why I'm working and everything. But is it cool if I just share with you a little bit about that real quick before we dive in? Okay, awesome. So I actually randomly heard about the job my friend started working there that I go to school with. And I started working, and I came in just to like check it out. And initially I had just started working at a pizza place to just get some cash. Like I wanted to become more financially independent. But when I went in for this job, they just had so much they offered, not only to help me financially, but also the flexibility that I can make my own schedule, and also the opportunity to be able to really learn and grow with this. All right, by the way, I'm going to record it, so don't worry about writing anything now. Re-listen to it later. I'll send it to you so you can write stuff down, okay? So yeah, they just offer some really great opportunities for me to be able to like learn and grow and develop myself. So I'm actually, I'm a senior right now at Katy High School. So I graduate this spring, and my goal is to move to Austin, and I want to study law. I want to ultimately be a lawyer. And for me, one of the things, I actually get a lot of anxiety when I like talk to people, especially on the phone and face to face. Like I freeze up when I'm talking to people when it comes like in a more professional way, you know, like in a more like serious way. Like I get really nervous sometimes. And so I thought this would be a really good thing to help me get more comfortable talking to people of different personalities, different backgrounds, different ages, and help me get comfortable, because as a lawyer, I'm going to have to talk to so many different types of people, not only face to face, but also over the phone, which I get so nervous with. So I thought this was really good to do this job to help me get out of my comfort zone, to help me learn those things, to help me develop those skill sets so I could be like a lot better in the future, you know? And what's cool is like this company also offers like so many cool things to add to my resume. Like they let young people, they have so many cool boosters. Like this right here, President's Club. This is a hand-signed letter from the president of our company, basically saying how we have to learn like time management, organization, interpersonal skills. We have to be organized, we have to be disciplined, and just saying like the skill sets we develop here and how bad but we are for the future. And so it's a hand-signed letter that I can put when I apply for grad schools, when I apply for law school, when I apply for different jobs. So this is really cool, and I'm really excited about being able to earn that. Scholarship, the All-American, they actually give 100 scholarships every year to top performers. And so I can earn up to $1,000 each semester for school with them. They have a couple different scholarships, but that's something really cool to help me have some extra money to help pay for books and stuff. And I'm very blessed. Like my grandparents are going to help with college, but being able to like say thank you and, you know, give back and not be dependent for like, you know, my money. Like if I want to go like have fun with my friends and go out to the food trucks, or like, you know, like to have a little extra cash for myself and to start saving up younger, because once I'm finished, you know, obviously I have a long road ahead and there's things I'm going to have to pay for. And I don't want to stress about having to pay for stuff when I'm studying for like the bar exam, you know? And then they have like so many different things from like newsletter and consistency and like all these different little boosters. And you can have a page, by the way, like I have Sage from the team meeting where it has like all the different resume boosters and it says stand out. You can print that out and put it in your blue book, something like that. What do you have? Let me see what you have. So this is Jay's book. So Jay has about him. So he shares about him and who he is. And so it's really cool to have pictures of yourself. And then he has, you know, so when he shares about him, he talks about, you know, this is his goal to run his own office and He shares with them how he's going to Olean. He has an All-American scholarship. And a really cool thing to do that my friend had told me is like tape a picture of yourself here. I would just tape a picture, or here, just tape a picture, you know, and put like your name with the black marker. And they just makes them laugh. You're like, well, that's not me yet, but thank you for helping me get one step closer. My goal is to be one of the top performers, and sharing with them like the different internships and stuff that we have. So he has, you know, the President's Club letter, and he has Grand Day, and he has his awards. Like when you guys are on like newsletter, you can share that. But even just in one page, you can have something that has all the things you can get, you know, because you don't have them yet, right? So you can say, hey, they have all these different things that I can put on my resume to help me stand out. And be like, I know obviously it's competitive out there for jobs and even to get into programs. So I want to do everything I can to just help myself stand out. So thank you for being a part of my journey, you know, because again, I know there are so many other things you could be doing right now. And I just really appreciate you taking time to help me towards my goals. That's one version of that. And then you transition to like, you know, what your sales goals are. Then I would be like, oh, so my goal for this campaign or my goal for this is to hit $10,000. So that would be a great goal for you, is to get to 10,000 by the end of the fall. You know, some people do that in a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, but it takes, 50 appointments, which over the next, 8 weeks means you're doing like 6 to 8 6+ demos a week is what you're doing to get that done. So it's like, hey, my goal is to, get to 10,000, which means I have to complete, and you can just say 7 or more appointments every week is what I have to do around my high school schedule, and, just personal obligations. So just having a little chart that's like 50 demos and fill in the ones that you have, and I can show you my thermometer, and you can have them sign that at the end, right? So you can just say, hey, my goal is to complete 50 appointments by the end of the year. So about 7 appointments a week around my school schedule in order to get it done. So thank you so much. And that'll get me to $10,000. Be like, now, by the way, if you want to just write me a check for $10,000 and I'll definitely hit it, that would be awesome. Cool? No? Okay. And then just tell them, be like, hey, by the way, I keep a lookout. Like I said on the phone, and that's where you talk about that. You're like, hey, like I said on the phone, you don't have to get anything, but keep a lookout, because if there's any holiday gifts you haven't purchased yet, if there's anything that you'd want to add for your house, for all the entertaining for the holidays, not only are you going to get a heck of a product you'll have forever, but it helps me out a ton for my goals, So this stuff is way too expensive, Miss Sage, for you to buy just to be nice. I'm assuming you didn't put away a couple grand waiting for like the knife girl, but definitely keep a lookout, because this stuff is amazing. And I'm going to show you why so many people invest in this. Cool? And again, it's through, like, this is a part where you want to do over, like, write out your goals and say over and over. I'll tell you right now, I remember Tay St. Laurent, like, you'll get to meet her. She'll be home for the holidays. Each summer, that's the #1 thing we work on, is readjusting that. She's had different goals each year that she's working for, but really being able to share why you're working, what you're excited, like, what does this company offer? I tell people another version to start off, be like, so this company, I don't know if you know, Ms. Jones, it's a huge student work program, and it's designed to teach students like a lot of the basics to have a really strong foundation with people, like business, entrepreneurship, but with people skills. And they have management internships, they have entrepreneurship internship. And so that's something you can share too. Be like, hey, I'd be excited about being able to get an internship with them and getting more comfortable leading. So not only speaking with different clients, but being able to like lead other people. So these are all things that you can talk about. So what are the things that, excite you, being independent, giving back, gaining comfort skills. So you need to really sit. This will take you 10, 15, 20 to just sit and really think about what are the things, and organize your thoughts. And so Tay wrote out a paragraph and then just read it out loud, because she learns, like, she's like you, and she likes to have everything written down and read it. But then she, after you say it 10 times, what you're talking about, but she'd have it there. And she's like, so let me tell you about this, let me tell you about that. And a good thing to do, how he has, is having pages of all the things you want to talk about. So having a page about you, having a page about your goals, having management internships. So we can we can have page protectors. So when you get to that next page, you're talking about that. So you can add those things in there. But that's where customers go, wow, that is so awesome. You're thinking about that. Like you're a high school senior and you're thinking about how to stand out, how to prepare yourself already for law school, how to, learning these skills. Wow, my kid's just like, partying, drinking too much, hungover, and not thinking about a dang thing and just asking you for money, And so the fact that you're working because you want to be independent, not to ask your parents, for money when you want to go to the movies or hang out with friends, but being able to take care of it yourself and being able to possibly even give back to them to say thank you for everything they provided. Like all these things, moms go, oh, I wish my kid was doing that, So they're like really, really impressed by that. So if you're serious about wanting to do well here, it's the number one thing I'd say to take time on first is to take 30 minutes, whether it's today when you get home, just sit down and be like, all right, let me write out my goals and like what I'm actually really excited about, putting that together. And then if you want to bring Thursday night to the team meeting, we're going to have game night at the end of the night. So if you want to bring any games.
Okay, so that's what they decided.
Team night in. Yeah, so they're going to do like blackjack, like cards, and we're going to bring some random games and puzzles. Like we do that at my house. I have like little pool table that's like really small, checkers and stuff.
One of those. It was like a pool table. And it had a bunch of other stuff. It had like a mini golf thing.
Oh, nice.
It had like 4 different things. It was pretty cool.
They're so fun. Yeah. So we have like miniature little games and stuff. So we're going to do game night in, but something that you can do is we can help you and Spencer can help you and look at your stuff, but work on it on your own and bring it so we can look at it. But putting pictures together, collages are great. And then we have different things you guys can use here. But I'd say first, write your goals out so you can, because you want to know like that you sharing that passionately like is going to make a world of a difference for your results and beyond. That would be the first thing. It's just goals. Cool. As far as selling sets, you just study what the tools are used for. I have a thing on, learn your names and uses, and then there's keys to selling sets, and I can give you 2 videos. What's up?
Patrick's talking names and uses Thursday.
Oh, yes. Yeah, he is going to do names and uses at the team meeting. So KP, who's sold over close to 400,000 in sales. He's one of the top 400 reps of all time. Our top rep. He's a Cutco sales professional. He's done this for 16 years. He'll be speaking at the team meeting. So he's going to do like 16 years also. Yeah, so same. So he'll be coming in and sharing like how to talk about all the different tools. So be ready to take some notes for sure on Thursday. But he'll go over the basic ones real quick because those are really easy. And that's what I want you guys to learn first. You have your air knife, anything in the air. You have a small utility. You have a sandwich maker. You have an everyday medium
all
knife.
The ones on the first page I do now.
Cool.
Of the homemaker.
So just knowing those. So the transitions, and you can listen to, I have a little quick video on selling sets, just little things that you want to implement or re-listen to that portion. Like I recorded yesterday a new advanced training, like updated, but just re-listen to that part of it's just like the first 15, 20 minutes of just like really like laying the foundation through your demo for you to get comfortable with like how to use it, and then just setting the stage for sets from the beginning. There's a couple other different talks that you can listen to online as well from top people, but it's just studying.
Yeah.
That's it. So putting that in there. So let's look at I want to look at your schedule real quick. So what does your schedule look like? And then I want to give you a cool thing you can do right now as you're like a little bit more nervous with calling people is they're called yeses. Okay. Yes recommendations. And what it is. So have you set up your rec binder, right? Or you have the rec binder?
I never bought one.
Okay. Okay, so we need to set one up. So you can Venmo me $5. We'll hook it up right now. But we need to do that. Or you have one at home.
I'll look for one.
Find one so we can set it up. So this right here, this sheet, it makes a world of a difference for you. And so this says, hey, thanks for helping me hit my goals. Don't need to ask if they want knives or mention prices. All right. So it says that right off the bat, but it says, here's what to say. A nice girl, this is Billy. So it says a nice guy named Billy came over, showed me a product called Cutco. He's a student at Texas State studying marketing. The appointment's fun and easy. You don't have to buy anything because he gets paid just to show it. Is it okay if he gives you a call real quick? Really helps him towards, and you put whatever. For him, he put a scholarship. And then I'm like, so if I'm coaching you, I'm like, and then Miss Sage just say, hey, actually, she's right here. Can you just talk to her real quick? And that's the best when they get them on the phone and then they're just like, oh, she's right here. You want to talk to her real quick? And all you say is thank you. You're like, thank you so much for being willing to help me. Like, I actually hadn't hit my goal for tomorrow. And I was wondering, are you available at 5:30 or is 8:30 better? Those are 2 spots I still needed to fill. And they're like, we can do 5:30, you know, or, oh, honey, we're busy tomorrow night.
So like before I leave, whenever they give me the recs.
Once you get the recs. So what you do, and I have a sheet on this. It's fantastic. So I have a sheet. If it's like on yeses, yeah, there's something that has the process on how to do it. Check to see what you have. If not, I have something that I can send you via email. But what you do is you maximize your recs. You get your sponsor, double sponsor, triple sponsor. So you get your recommendations. Once you get your recs, you ask them, hey, if I was your daughter, who would you want me to go see first? You know, or hey, if you were me, who would you go see first? And they're like, her. She loves to cook. Like she loves to cook, and she throws like the best parties and entertains. Oh, she's like loves to have the best of everything. You know, like they'll tell you like the top 2, 3, 4, 5. I always tell them who are the top 3 to 5.
I'm definitely taking this because I need a new one. Remember,
okay. Oh yeah. Well, this is our master. You can't have this one.
Oh,
but
okay. Do you have any more?
I'll see if one came in already. They might not have gotten here yet. I think it was one extra. This is the Spanish one. Oh, no, here's the English one. That's our one extra. So you can have that one. So this right here, when you go through this, I ask them, hey, who are the top people? So let's look here. So it tells you, does it have it in here anymore or no? No, this is just the heads up text. And so this is also really good for the rest of them so they know you're going to be contacting them, is have them text. Like today, Billy had the demo, or yesterday. Yesterday, Billy sold like a carving set to somebody, but he got a triple sponsor, 30 people, and had them all texted. Okay. So when he said that in the group me, like, and they're all texted, is that the customer already gave them a heads up, all right?
Yeah, I was just reading on
no, that's fine.
I just remember seeing the loop approach. And
I'll give it to you. But so the first thing is I have them. So I'll show you what I do. So you get the recs. Then you ask them who are their top 2 to 3 favorites. Then the ones that they don't call, I'm like, hey, is there any way you can help me get in contact with them? So I have a paper. Actually, you know what, Jay? There is, I think it's cream colored, but there is a paper that's dual-sided that's like Kathy's Rockin' Recommendations. Okay. There might be one that's just 1 page, but it has it on there. If you can grab. There was a cream-colored one that was dual-sided, and then there was a 1 page on Rockin' Recs. But check to see what you find. If not, I'll find it in my computer. But it tells you the exact steps of what to do, and then you know how to. Oh, is there any way you can get in contact with the top 2 or 3 just to let them know? And really think about it. If it's their best people and they don't know your number, you know, like who's going to get a hold of them easier, them or you? Of course. So I always love them to just call their top 2 or 3 so I could just set them up right away. Mm-hmm. And then when we were finished with that, I always adjusted the text. Once you have one person do it, Sage, other people will ask you, hey, did you want me to text them for you? Because they got a text, you know? Sometimes I'll ask them, hey, Sage, do you still have the text that Julie sent you? And they're like, oh, yeah. I'm like, could you forward that real quick to these guys so that way I don't catch them out of the blue? That way they're expecting your call, all right? And it makes it really easy. And for you starting off, so your yeses, by the way, if you only worked out the people they called, let's say you got 2 people who said yes when they called them, right? So you have 5 demos this week, and each of them talks to, on average, let's say it's 2, let's say it's 1.5, okay? So they call their top 3 to 5 for you, and they get a hold of 1 or 2, you know, so they'll average 1.5. And if we did that, that's, you know, 7+ new appointments you already booked without having to do anything except say thank you, offer a time, be like, I can't wait to meet you, thank you so much. And that's it, because they're doing the heavy lifting for you. And then you go do, and those are already set, and you go see them, and if you only got 1.5 from each of them, that's 10+ new appointments you have ahead of you without even the rest of their list. Cool? So I tried to run my business in college. That's all I did because I could only do 7 appointments a week, and I would get 20, 30 recs from like each person. I averaged 22 recs. We've talked about this before, but I couldn't see all those people. So I could only see the top, you know, 7 people. All right. Okay, cool. Yeah, this is old. It's okay. Thank you. Oh, awesome. Thank you. So this is good for names and uses. So this has all the complete, yeah, I mean, it's the complete set, tools and how to use them, so you can take that. So I'm going to email you with recommendations. But right now, just ask me how you've been asking for recs again.
something to happen. Okay. Well, I always point to the thing, and
The
it has
sponsorship.
like my mom, and then
Mhm.
Misty, and then now this other lady.
Mhm.
First, okay, well, you can become a sponsor, and it's like you don't have to buy anything, do anything with money. Like,
Mhm.
There's a free way that you can sponsor me with just every 10 people that you write down.
Mhm.
You can write your name down. So.
Okay. So again, we gotta master your basics. These 3 bullets, gotta have more to word. Cool.
Okay.
I don't care how you lead in. If you want to say that, like, oh, it's a free way, you know, like all that, like I say stuff like that, and I'm like, so basically, I get paid every time I show Cutco. I can only call people I've been personally recommended to. So what I need you to do, like, in this mess here. And by the way, when you say what I need you to do, open your eyes. It's a joke. Like, oh, what I need you to do while I clean up is to jot down like 200 to 300 people who might be nice. And they're like, huh? Like, I'm just kidding. And I'm not looking for anyone you think would buy, just anyone super nice like you guys. And so here's how my sponsorship works when you explain it. When I get 50 sponsors, I get a $150 award. All you have to do to be a sponsor is jot down 10 names. So when you fill out a full sheet like this, you would sign 3 times. You get to 20 like this, you sign twice. And even if you only get to 10, you still sign once. And when I get all 50 signatures, I get the award. So here's a couple sheets, jot down as many as you can. Cool. So a lot of it, Sage, for you goes right now. We don't have your basic. You can't expect results if we don't have the, you know, we're not like following it. So those 3 bullets, get those down. That's going to impact your recs. I'm going to get you, so you have the actual, excuse me, doing the yeses. So I'm going to pull that up. And with closing your stuff. So as far as the closing, I mean, you can review your stuff and we can look at it on Thursday. All right. I know you don't have your stuff with you and you're really good at like reading what you wrote down. So we'll wait for that. Let me put here, see if I can find this, and then I got to go. You have potential to be a freaking rock star, girl. No, like just know, and that's where I want to develop you. Like if you want to do it, like we can make it happen. It's just you making a commitment to say, you know what, I want to learn this. Some people are naturally amazing right off the bat, and some people it's a little bit slower. I was talking to the guys yesterday in advanced training about this. I was like, think about it. Basketball. Do you know basketball at all? Do you know the names Michael Jordan and LeBron James? Do you know those 2 names? All right, cool. So Michael Jordan, one of the best of all time, right? I mean, both of them are. But Michael Jordan, one of the best of all time. Do you know, like, his story from when he was younger? He didn't make the team. He got cut when he was, like, in high school. It was probably, like, they said, like, you can't be on our team. Like, you suck at basketball. So he didn't make the team. And he was like, all right. And he wasn't like, oh, I guess basketball's not for me. He was like, no, I want to do this. And so he practiced, and then he made the team. He got recruited for college. He wasn't a top recruit, but he got recruited to play at UNC. And he'd go to practice an hour early, and he'd stay an hour late, and he'd always be practicing. And by the way, everyone knows his name. He became one of the greatest of all time. All right. But he didn't start that way. Where LeBron did. LeBron out of high school was just freaking ridiculous. Got recruited into the NBA. Like, he was amazing from the get-go. But I still think Michael Jordan's better. And people can argue whatever, you know, it is. But the fact is, 2 of the greatest players in basketball, different starts, you know. And it's the same thing here. Some people start off right out of the gates, and they just get it. Great. It doesn't make them better or not. You know, I think Michael Jordan's even better, you know. And I see some of our reps and people at slower starts. I didn't have a $10,000 first weekend, $6,000 first weekend. But I ended up beating long-term some of the guys that did. Like people that I knew that crushed their first weekend, and I was like $150 average order, sold 1,000 off, like, you know, 8 appointments, but then, you know, things started clicking. And my friend had told me, he's like, Kat, you have to just study and just get good at it. You know, read your manual, like every morning, read through. Like, can you read through your manual once in the morning, once at night? Just read through it. It'll take you about 10 to 15 minutes to just read through it, like not out loud, but just like actually just read it and just like be getting that stuff in your head if you really want to be great. Sarah Loffelig, her first weekend, by the way, bombed. And I'll tell you who this girl is. But when she started her first weekend, she came back on Monday ready to quit. She's like, nobody's going to buy it. Before she had the job, she's like, everyone says no one's going to buy it. My family is like, well, don't waste your time. No one's going to get anything. She went her first weekend, did 14 appointments. Okay. She had 2 or 3 sales, I remember. It was very small. So she was owed base pay her first weekend. And she's like, how does this work? Nobody bought anything, you know, just like I thought, or just like they said, or whatever. And I looked at her and I said, Sarah, if you're going to do this job, you got to go in, like, you got to like jump in with both feet. You can't be like, oh, maybe, I hope. Like, you're like, I hope I do good. Like, no, make a decision to be great or don't do it. And this is my conversation with her. I was like, make a decision, like, I want to be great or don't do it. I said, what does it take to be great? I said, learn the job. All right. And I can work with you. And every day, you know, in that her first week, she actually had the time where I was like, hey, every day, let's meet in the morning. Can you commit to 30 minutes minimum of study every day for your first week? 30 minutes of daily study minimum. And she was like, yeah, I can do that. I'm like, all right. I said, if you're going to do it right. I was like, don't be like, oh, I don't know if this is going to go well. Like, just give it all you've got and actually learn it, or don't do it. And by the way, the next week from Tuesday to Tuesday, she sold $15,000, made $3,500. She went on to be number 4 or 6. I don't know if that was summer or not. In that one, she's number 6 up there. You can see her face, Sarah Laffelig, when you go past it. But she was number 4 or 6 that summer, number 4 or 6 that fall. By the way, in 7 months, at 18 years old, she was the number 1 rookie of the year. She earned over $52,000 in income, and she won the Silver Cup. She was number 1 in the nation. And I got interviewed like, oh, what made her so great? And I can tell, and in the interview, I told them, I said, honestly, she became one of the best students I've ever had. Like a student, she just wanted to do well. And she was always learning. She was always watching audios, and she kicked everyone's butt. The next year, she went on to be one of the top people. Then she went on and ran a branch, and she was number 3 in the nation. And then she landed her like a dream job up in New York, and is just kicking butt at life, you know, but she made a decision. And that's what I told her. I'm like, there's opportunity, and this job isn't like a personality, like anyone can succeed. It's just up to you if you actually want to learn the material or learn how to do the job, you know? So it's not like singing where anyone can actually learn it, but some people are naturally like, they just open their mouth and you're like, how the, you know, it's just like angelic what comes out. And other people, it's like, oh, kind of tone deaf, right? And you can still learn to develop it, but some people naturally are just like, so this business, everyone has to learn it, you know, just some people have more confidence than others. And the great thing is that, and I shared this yesterday, 10% of people that you show Cutco to always buy. You've had some of those sales already, all right? They always buy. You can do everything wrong, and they're like, wow, this is great. They want some, all right? 10% of people never buy. You can do everything perfect, and they just never buy. And the most exciting statistic, which could also be the most nerve-wracking, depends on you. And it depends on 2 things, your skills, all right, and your attitude. All right. And your skills right now, you don't have a lot of skill. All right. That you develop that. All right. Attitude is based on 2 things. Attitude is based on confidence. Okay. And expectations. Your expectations are like hopeful, not like, oh, like I'm going to go be the highlight of their day. Like, is everyone going to buy? Everyone's not going to buy. But do you expect to be the highlight of their day, go have fun, and create the best demo possible for them? And we know if we do that, like most people end up getting something, like 90% actually. But what are your expectations? When these guys go to a demo, when Jay goes to a demo, he's not like, I wonder if they're going to buy. He's like, oh, I wonder what they're going to get. Like he's going to go in there and give them 110%. And he knows some don't buy, you know, but what's your expectation when you go in? And then confidence. Obviously, that's something that you know you lock in, you know. But as you gain more skill level, all right, as you gain more experience, as you learn more, what's going to happen? Yep, your confidence goes up. And when you maximize the 80% Sage, which a lot of it is you learning and your attitude, when you maximize that 80 and you combine it with the 10% that always buys, that's when you have a 90% closing ratio a lot of our top guys have. And that's what I told. And by the way, Sarah La did end up with a 90, 92% closing. She started with like 2 or 3 sales out of 14, you know, but she was like, you know what? Okay, I'm committed. I'm going to do this. And then boom, she just worked on this, getting good, learning, went field training. Her confidence shot up, her results shot up because this was fully there. All right. So keep that in mind. Don't be hopeful to learn skill. We're here to support you. Cool. So goals. Can we get goals done today?
Yeah, put that down.
Okay. And let's look at your schedule for this week. What's happening this week? Do you have a schedule sheet?
Okay.
Jay, can you grab me a schedule sheet? Or a couple. Give me a couple. We'll staple them together. Let's do it. Let's do your schedule real quick and get you out of here because I have a training with these guys. But, yep, take that so you have it. Girl, if you actually made a commitment to do this, I told you that from when I talked to you. Like, I know I've been doing this for almost 16 years.
I know you know exactly.
And I know some people, I'm like, you know, like they're just not, it's good for them to learn stuff. And some people were just like, let's just see what happens. And then there's other people that we know like what they're capable of and what they can do. And you've been blessed. God gave you an incredible personality, you know, to be able to connect with people. You have just such a beautiful energy, like a dynamic energy. Your energy is very strong, by the way, negative or positive. When you're like sad or you're like frustrated or whatever, like you can feel it.
But I'm telling you, a lot of people told me that. Like Like I've talked to a bunch of
About your energy?
empaths, talked to a bunch of empaths.
Oh,
I've talked to
perfect.
a
I
bunch
have
of
a
just like
12:30 that
people
I
that
can see
read
on
people you
Thursday.
you go to. Like I've been to a lot of that where you
Okay,
just
now,
kind of like
Nick,
pay them in
do you
tips
have
to like
a pen
and
read
paper
your
yet?
stuff, and like every single one of them is like
Okay.
your
Well,
energy
this
is
is my
like super
cell
strong.
phone.
Super
As soon as you walk in the room, like
Yep.
like someone.
I felt that right away, and I'm very big with energy and feels and stuff.
You must be an empath. Have you
Yeah,
ever looked
no, I
into
can I can feel a lot of that, and so I talk to my coach all the time about that. But like, you have super strong energy, and so everyone's gonna feel it. It's a really by the way, it's a blessing. It's a powerful tool, but it can go both ways, because when you're not in a good place, everyone can feel it. You know, people around you can feel it. Like, it's not like you can hide it easily. You wear it on your face. You wear it, like, you can just, your aura, you can feel that. And when you're happy and you're gonna go, like, you like shine so bright. It's incredible. So know that and own that and be thankful for that and utilize that, you know? So you have something really great. Don't hide and be like, oh, like, no. You were created with powerful energy. That's a blessing. And so own it and like use it for the great and develop. And, you know, like just do things that make you uncomfortable, because then you'll, by doing it over and over.
Yeah, I really need to start stepping out of my comfort zone.
Yeah, you're created for more than what you're doing, girl. And I'm sure a lot of them have told you that. Like, you work, and you can tell. So here, school right now, school's every day till what, 1:50?
Yeah.
When do you get out? Like at 2, because you have early dismissal?
Yeah, I have early release. It's like,
755.
because sometimes just depend. We have like 5 different bell schedules. It's
Mhm.
crazy.
All right, Nick. Well,
So
I
it
have
kind of
you. I got
ranges,
you in
but
my
yeah,
schedule.
one.
I look forward to meeting
It
you
ranges
on
from
Thursday at
120 to
12:30, okay?
150.
Okay, so somewhere around there, we'll just put
Have a
till
great night.
1:30
See you
basically
later.
every day. There's school. You're working at the pizza place on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday?
No, I'm just doing it on Saturday and Sunday now.
Okay, cool. So that is starting at 5? Okay. So we have the pizza place at night. Then what else is happening during the week?
So far nothing.
Okay. Can we just pick 2 or 3 days to focus on getting some appointments done? What would be, Friday night's a good one. That's the night that I've been trying to get you to get off, because everyone gets paid on Friday. Now, I know you guys have like football games and stuff now.
Yeah.
How many more are left?
They go up until like, no, it's not the same
There's
as
2
regular
weeks left
football.
and then state
Yeah.
starts.
Okay.
Yeah.
So cool. So there's a game, you know, can you do, I know there's this week it's at Maid Creek at 7:30. So is there anyone that can reserve you a seat so you can try to do like 1 or 2 right after school? I would try to get 1+ on Friday. And then Saturday, can you get at least 2 done before you go to work?
Yeah.
Not here, because you don't want to lose the whole weekend. Weekend's just such a good time, you know? And Sunday, what do you guys have with family? What do you have going on?
Nothing.
Hey, Lewis.
Okay.
When's Thanksgiving?
Hey, Lewis. This is
In 3
Spencer.
weeks.
How are you,
Or
sir?
not this week, not next week, the week after.
I'm doing well,
All right,
thank you.
so that would
Wow,
be,
that's so close.
This is
I
Thanksgiving.
think I'm going to
Really quick and,
Austin that whole week.
see if we could schedule
Okay.
time to do
So we'll find out. I know
Tuesday to-
Monday-
Tuesday to Saturday.
Monday we're gonna have our Thanksgiving office dinner.
Oh my God.
And I asked her
Is
if
it
she
like a
did that
potluck?
idea.
Do we all bring
Potluck.
something?
Mhm. Yep.
Okay, great.
So it'll be potluck from 5 to 7. We're gonna have dinner at the office.
Are y'all gonna sign like sheets on who brings what, or like can you just
We'll
show
sign
up
it.
and bring stuff?
Well, you can say if you're gonna bring like an entree, a side dish, or
Okay,
a dessert, so that we know like how many.
Like I'm gonna go home and look at that.
So you can check that out. But this is, so we've got school. So here's what I would say. Maybe on the weekends, you know, like I would focus on getting 3+ done on the weekends, and then pick
Or you and Miss
1 or
Lucille?
2 days. It's up to you how many do you want to do. Are you wanting to do 5 a week, 7 a week? Like how many can you commit right
Probably
now?
like 6 or 7 a week.
Okay.
Seven.
That's what'll get you to getting the 10K by the end of the year, by the way, if you did that.
Got it, okay.
So
All right,
this here
so
then,
there must
do you
have
want to
been
have 2 days that you do 2 or 3 demos, or you want to crush a bigger day? So you like have homework time or home time?
So what we could do is
Like,
you can reach out to us
I was
later, or
thinking,
we'll
like,
get in touch with you,
one every day, but then like
year or
7
so when
days.
you actually are
Do
available.
2
I wouldn't even do one every day. I'd say study and do whatever, and then here do like a 4:30 and a 6:30. You know, like study after school, and then you have time to go home at night or whatever. Just picking 2 days or 1 day that you're doing that. So maybe you do one here, but I would focus on, let's say 2+ on Tuesdays, and then Wednesday, maybe you do 0, maybe you do 1, maybe you do 2. Thursdays you do 1 before you come here to the team meeting, and then book up stuff for here. Like that's the day you do 1. Make this a work day. So you have 2, 1, and then 3 to 4 on the weekend, so you can get your 7 done.
Mhm.
Cool. So it's like none on Monday, none on Wednesday, unless you didn't hit your goal. Then Monday is like a makeup day.
Yeah.
Because
And then
Monday's
you
the
get
end of the
that
week.
extra.
Monday's the end of the week, so you can always have that as a makeup day. So you could do, 2 on Saturday, and then 1+ on Sunday. Like that'll get you to your goal. Because some people will need to reschedule. So by having these, so right now you've got, I just put here 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 demos in your schedule. So you want to have like an extra 1 or 2 in there to make sure that you're knocking out 6 to 7 a week. Cool. So I'm gonna put this, but I think Tuesdays are a good day. Thursdays definitely do one, and if you want to do one, someone wants to do one on a different day, then do it. But say, hey, Tuesdays for sure. Tuesdays I'm working with Petco, and like Saturday or Sunday, pick a day, and the other day like you're hanging out, I don't know, going on the lake or doing whatever, like hanging out with your friends. But pick one of the days to do 2 or 3 demos before pizza, and the other day to just like chill and relax. This, if you can get one before the game, and then try to get one before you come to the office with a mom before you come here on Thursdays. Make that a work day. So work days are Tuesday, Thursday, and then either Saturday or Sunday, are your main work days. Cool. So you can put, what's today's date? 7th. So you can date all these and put your stuff. So this is the Maid Creek game. And then put all the dates so you can plan ahead for everything, okay? So let me put this here. So today is Tuesday, so we missed today. Can we make some calls to try to get 2 for tomorrow?
Okay.
And shoot them, again, shoot them a text. If they don't pick up, just call. And the best thing for you, honestly, is just to make calls here.
I
So
still have a
someone
bunch of reschedules that I still need to reschedule.
So can we call them today and see if we can get 2 of them for tomorrow? Or even see, it's only 4:30. Maybe you can get one for later tonight.
Sorry, someone else.
All right. So you are welcome, hon. Let's do it.
So I will see you on Thursday.
Assistant manager in training. Let's do it.
Interested about what you're set.
You got to get her knocking out her sales.